Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to go over gold and silver, do some technical analysis, and I'm going to give you my financial opinion. That's all it is. It's just an opinion. I wouldn't use it for advice. So let's jump in, and I'll give you my opinion on gold and silver. I'm going to start with the dollar and gold itself. Usually these move inversely. They're inversely correlated, which means when this one goes higher, this one goes lower. And we can see that in the chart. And given how much the dollar was up today, 0.5%, which is quite substantial, gold is relatively flat, which I would consider to be a win given 0.5% up in the dollar. The next thing that I look at is the 10-year. Usually when the 10-year is moving up, it means that the expectations are for inflation. When it's moving sideways or lower, people are scared and they're running into bonds. Or someone is in there buying the bonds, doing yield curve control. I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but people are buying bonds and yields are going lower. Yields price all assets. When yields go lower, they price stocks higher, usually. Right now, I would just say that they're very low and they're moving sideways overall. But usually when yields go down, say from 1980 onward, stocks went up because the PE expansion occurred. When yields go in the opposite direction, when they go up in yield or in interest rate, PE ratios contract and prices come down for stocks. So people sell stocks and bonds, and they go into commodities and other inflation-protected assets. Gold to copper ratio, when this ratio is falling, it's signaling that people are in favor of copper versus gold. It means that they have a good outlook on inflation and the economy. We are moving sideways with this ratio. It's just been bumping sideways and sideways, signaling that the market may be confused or maybe it's turning. Looking at the gold to silver ratio, a declining gold to silver ratio is usually positive for commodities. And I would say, you know what? People are favoring gold over silver at the moment. It is coming back up, which means people may be getting a little bit scared. They're preferring to own gold over silver. So we may have a crash coming or something, or a little pullback somewhere. Another one I look at is TIPS. This is Treasury Inflation Protected Security Bond. We are moving higher, and usually when this moves higher, gold does pretty well. Usually there's a strong correlation. But that correlation broke down in August. August here, you can see that TIPS continue to move higher, which I expect gold to have done. But we can obviously see that there was a disconnect in August of 2020 where gold stopped outperforming TIPS and started to head lower. One piece of data, even though we're getting real negative rates. GDX is an ETF, kind of a larger gold miners ETF. You can see where the support line's at, and we're heading back down, perhaps to test it around the $30 area. It's a possibility. SILJ, we've got these large chopping sideways action. Good support at about $12 a share. What I do like about this is we've got nice large move higher and then a slow leak off of sellers. Large move higher, and we're just kind of moving sideways. So it still looks pretty strong on a big picture view. But that doesn't mean that in the short term we're going to just, jolt higher. Takes time. EXK, we squeezed up into this corner here, broke to the downside, and we're continuing to pull back at the moment. I don't know. I don't think that's done yet. Newmont, we're chopping sideways. We got the patterns here. We could fall down maybe to this 55, 54 region, 56, just to kind of get this little pattern going. Here's Franco-Nevada. Franco-Nevada's still holding on, barely. Too bullish engulfing. A bullish engulfing just means there's a statistical probability that it could go higher. They kind of stack on top of each other. I would say that this was going to move on higher, but we encountered selling pressure. And that's what I have for the day. overall, I think we're still in pullback mode, and I'm getting more conservative with time. I think the overall outlook is looking worse, not better. When the ratios start to turn and you start to see gold outperform silver, you're starting to see copper and gold ratio go sideways. I'm not deploying money here. I'm going to save money, build cash, and see what happens. There's a possibility that we're going to see a pullback, and that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to see signals to tell me that it's not a pullback and that we're going to go higher. I don't have those signals yet. Things are still looking pretty weak at the moment. So I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to hold my positions that I have, and I'm going to accumulate cash and not buy anything either. So I'm just going to wait and accumulate cash, that is. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.